You're watching 11 Alive Morning News. 11 minutes of nonstop news starts now.
First this morning, more details come to light about how a Georgia teen whose family says he was tortured before he ended up in an ICU, how he's doing. Today we'll also learn more about the investigation. Georgia's lawmakers have just hours now to determine which bills will make it to the governor's desk. It is the last day of the session, the key legislation that could affect you.
We are expecting plenty of sunshine for this afternoon, but it will be on the cool side. You're going to need at least a light jacket or sweater. I'll let you know why in the full forecast coming up.
If you're trying to make your way into town from the Lawrenceville area, you are packed in whether you're on Interstate 85 or Highway 316. Volume building across Metro Atlanta.
We are kicking off your 11 minutes of nonstop news with breaking news. Police say there was a shootout at an apartment complex near Georgia State University's campus. They say it happened outside the Reflection student apartments. Officers responded to a crowd control call, and while that was happening, they say people in two cars started shooting at each other. That sent crowds running. Police say some bullets hit the building. There are no reports of anyone getting hurt. We'll keep following it for you. There is encouraging news this morning about a South Georgia teenager hospitalized in what police call a hazing incident. We've learned that Trent Lehrkamp is now off a ventilator. And this morning, Christy Diaz has a look at a new police report detailing even more about what he had to go through. So disturbing, Christy.
It is really disturbing, and the more we learn, the more upsetting it gets. The police report says when he showed up to the emergency room, Trent's clothes were soaked with urine. He had spray paint all over his body and hair and had a bruise on his shoulder. It also said he has been through something like this before. Trent's dad, Mark, told the officer this was not the first time Trent has gone to this specific person's house. And while that person's name is redacted in the police report, it says last Friday on March 17th, Trent came home covered in WD-40, vomit, paint, glue, egg yolk, and spray paint. And a week before that, it said he had to go to the emergency room because he came home with a severe cut above his eye that needed stitches. The community is growing impatient as days continue without an arrest for what happened to Trent. But the DA in Glenn County released a statement saying we are researching criminal statutes and procedures so we can determine what laws are applicable to the facts. And they added that that takes time. The DA said there has been some misinformation about the case, but they didn't specify which parts. They urged the public not to believe everything they see on social media. We hope to learn more at the 1 o'clock press conference later today.
Christy, thank you. This morning, we are sharing new details on a shocking crash that we first brought you yesterday morning.
Georgia State Patrol is now telling us that the mangled car that we're about to show you again was hit after a chase. So take a look. GSP says Bartow County deputies were chasing two motorcycles for racing on Monday night. When the bikes made it into Cobb County, troopers say one of the drivers hit a car at the intersection of Cobb Parkway and Acworth Summit Boulevard. The driver of the motorcycle died. We are checking on the condition of the other person who we know suffered life-threatening injuries.
It could be months before we hear the Georgia Supreme Court's decision on whether to uphold the state's abortion law. Right now, justices are deciding whether it was void from the beginning because it was passed before Roe v. Wade was overturned. Justices heard arguments yesterday. A decision is expected to come within the next 6 months.
This morning, we know that at least 139 homes were damaged and 22 destroyed after a tornado ripped through Troup County on Sunday morning. Today, students in the county are getting ready to go back to school for the first time. There are some changes, though, to the bus routes to be aware of. We have all of it listed on 11alive.com. You'll also find ways to help people in need. The need is great, and people are stepping up, which we love to see. That was a look at your Wednesday morning headlines.
Headed out for a 10 on the Wazometer day, Chesley.
Absolutely. It's going to be a very nice one and got to take advantage of it while you can. We're starting off with, well, some cooler temperatures. I'll say crisp. 42 degrees to start. We'll get up to 58 for your afternoon temperature by noon. Your afternoon high, by the way, was 66. That's the coolest day of the week. That's what it's going to be today. That's at least close to where we should be for this time of year, but cooler than what we have been experiencing. For example, we had 80 degrees on our Monday. We were in the 70s yesterday. Now today, down into the 60s. We'll drop that down to 64 degrees by 7 o'clock tonight, but we'll do better. I think tomorrow temperatures will get a little bit warmer out there. High pressure up here to the north of us, dominating our skies. You can see where we have some rain back off to the west, but it's not going to make it here, at least not today or tomorrow. We'll be looking at a northerly flow coming in for this afternoon. Winds on the light side, so we don't have to worry about the winds too much. It's just a very crisp, spring-like, early spring-like day. if you will. You're looking at the dry sky over us now. This purple indicates that where we have the dry air. The lighter colors indicate that moisture. Most of that down to the south of us for today. Tomorrow starts to build off to our west. We'll stay on the dry side, and as I mentioned, temperatures will get a little bit warmer as we head into our Thursday. By Friday, a few more clouds will move into the area, and then by Saturday, that's when we'll start to see some of that rain begin to increase. Behind this front for Sunday, the drier air will begin to work back in. Here's how it all plays out. Our forecast track model, you can follow along with me with the time right there at the top of the screen. It shows, again, a few high, thin clouds, thin enough that we'll see the sun shining through those. So we're going to call it mostly sunny skies for today. Clear skies tonight will allow those temperatures to fall back down into the 30s and 40s once again, so it's another cool start for us on Thursday morning. But by the afternoon, plenty of sunshine, right around 72 degrees for an afternoon high. Very comfortable. Here comes those clouds as we head into Friday, and again, we won't see that rain show up until late in the day. In fact, a lot of us probably won't see it at all. You're looking at a 20% chance for that rain. Greater chance on Saturday as the front gets a little bit closer to the area. For the first half of the day, we'll have showers, possibly some thunderstorms as well. 76 will be the high temperature, and then behind the front, we'll cool it off just a touch. That will start off our Sunday morning right around 48 degrees, but we'll hit 71 degrees for a high, another 11 on the odometer. A beautiful way to start the work week, right? Monday, just a few extra clouds, 78, and then back to the 80s by Tuesday of next week with a 30% chance for some rain.
One of the victims of the Nashville school shooting used to live in Metro Atlanta, and this morning we're hearing from one of her friends. Catherine Kuntz studied education at Georgia State and used to live in Marietta. One of her friends says Catherine was funny, spunky, and witty. She's devastated by her loss, but comforted knowing that she's in a better place.
She was an exceptionally brilliant educator.
Coming up in just a little bit on the Today Show, we'll hear from two more of Catherine's friends, also from Atlanta, more about the person that she was.
It is the last day of the legislative session, also known as sine die. It is the last chance for bills to get passed.
It is deadline day. 11 Alive's Ariana Manise looking at 3 bills that impact a lot of people in Metro Atlanta.
For the final day of the legislative session, there's still a number of bills that lawmakers must vote on by midnight, or the effort will have to wait until next year. One measure that we're watching is one that will provide funding for private school tuition. Families stand to receive $6,500 per student if they live in a zone where schools are performing in the bottom 25%. Another measure awaiting a vote is a bill that will establish renters' rights and require landlords to ensure property is fit for human habitation once a lease is signed. And lawmakers could also weigh in on HB 119, which would ban booting vehicles in the state of Georgia. Now, 11 Alive will be at the state capitol all day as lawmakers work up to the minute to pass a number of measures. We'll be sure to bring you the latest on air as well as online. Back to you.
Ariana, thank you. You can also check out all of the key bills that are on the table today in our sine die preview on 11alive.com.
This morning, there are new efforts to increase affordable housing in Atlanta. Today, Mayor Andre Dickens will be at the groundbreaking for Trust at East Lake. It's in southwest Atlanta. It will have 52 affordable units, 1 bedroom starting about $900 a month. Compare that to the average price right now in Metro Atlanta at $1,500. Another affordable housing options coming to the MLK corridor. The Hamilton Hills Apartments will also have 52 units.
We know how hot it can get during the spring and summer months in Georgia. Your electric bill is going to show that when you start cranking up the AC. This morning, the Georgia DHS is offering to help some people. The Low-Income Energy Assistance Cooling Program launches Monday. It supports seniors and those living with disabilities who are on a fixed income. Anyone over 65 and those who have to stay home for medical reasons can put in their applications. Others who are eligible can apply May 1st.
Before you leave the house, go ahead and grab that sweater or at least a light jacket. You're going to need that, I think, through the day today, one that you want to style all day long. 58 degrees will be your temperature by noon. We'll have mostly sunny skies out there, and we're going to hold on to that sunshine for pretty much all day long. You're looking at 66 for the afternoon high. By 6 o'clock, keep the shades handy as you're driving home. Fair skies, 64 degrees will be your temperature by then.
All right, shout out to the morning commuters having a little bit of a sticky drive out there.
Yeah, just enjoy the sunrise.
Yeah, right.
It's coming up. It's finally coming up. Have a great day, everybody. Today's show's next, and we'll